Well, what I'm finna do right now, Reese, is what I do, dog. I'm finna promote the. Well, yeah, that'll come. I'll bring some popcorn by y'all eating it. We doing something with popcorn or a picture of it or something, whatever. Whenever I can get by here, whatever. I don't care. But
Wait, okay.
oh, I didn't know that.
I
Hi.
mean, he cool. I mean, nobody watch.
Nobody watch.
Nobody.
Yeah. But the number one thing is to make sure that he's straight, dog. He blocked. So because then there's a platform. Otherwise, there is not. You know what I'm saying? Hmm? Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by locked. This young guy, if he can keep it going and blow up a little bit, then that would be one wonderful platform for a multitude of things, especially all the interests and concerns that you guys are talking about. This helps. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the being a part of the solution. Opposed to conversation is always part of the solution, opposed to being a part of the problem. Complaining and doing nothing. You know.
I definitely got tired of all the complaining, and I'm definitely like a, I definitely am like a real solution man person. Like no matter no matter what we kind of talk about, no matter who I'm talking to, no matter what we kind of talk about, I'm always interested in the solution. Like after everybody everything off their chest, I'm always asking everybody, okay, so what do y'all think we could do about this? What's the options here? And then that's when people, too many people get silent, in my opinion. I'm like, well, it's time for us to find a way to fix this, if it's possible.
Because people only know how to talk about the problem.
Ain't that
come with the solution.
I don't like that shit, bro.
Talking about possible solutions is helping with the solution, man. I mean, you know,
We laugh about the way because y'all didn't know.
Yeah, he told us.
effort is valuable. That's what I'm saying.
What he doing?
You don't have to know the answer.
Okay, we are back from our break. Nobody else watching now, but that's all good. All right, I think everything should be already said here. Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. And today we have a bit of a special, something a little bit unique today. I actually been just a little bit busy over my brief break, and I actually messed around and reached out and looked up and got an interview with a whole reparationist lobbyist out from New York. So let's check out how this conversation kind of went, and let's see what the Chicago Black Delegation think of this conversation. Okay. All right.
Love that shirt.
Huh?
And I love that shirt, by the way.
Oh
That
yeah,
shirt
it's
is
a good
fire.
yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. That's one of the biggest for everybody watching. This is just a snippet of the conversation. The whole thing is going to be released in the very near future. But again, this is just a snippet. This is one of the most important words in my vocabulary, bro.
Nice.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. And we doing a little bit of something different for you, all right? You ain't ever really seen this angle before. You ain't ever seen me by myself and all that stuff. But are we going to be doing something a little bit different for you? We actually got a guest this time. We're doing an interview from all the way from a man all the way from New York that is, I would argue, is performing tasks and performing a service that's very instrumental towards the upward trajectory of Black Americans. My brother goes by the name of, today he's going by the name of Freedom, Justice, Equality. But bro, what do you go by? You know what I'm saying, outside of Discord, bro?
I go by many names, but Freeman Chief Justice, Reparations, Freeman Justice Equality, Prime Time Freedman, Prime. Yeah.
For sure. Dope, man. So I mean, I don't know, like, give us a little bit, let us know a little bit about yourself, man. How did you get into this walk? What inspires you? You know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of just give us like the overall briefing of the man of many names, Mr. Freeman himself.
No doubt, no doubt. Primetime Freeman on deck. I'm an American freeman, meaning I am a descendant of emancipated persons within the United States because my ancestors were enslaved. My ancestors and myself, we are the founders and builders and the architects of the United States. We have the most equity, social, economic, inventions, cultural, all of the above. And that's who I am. I do a lot of education about the American freeman. Um, the freedman status is no different than citizen. Citizen, that's a status. Immigrant, that's a status. Marriage, that's a status. Um, what else? Single, that's a status. Student, that's a status. So I do a lot of lobbying and representation and advocacy, community organizing, yeah, many things specifically and exclusively for the American freeman. I call myself a reparationist, which means that I advocate for reparations exclusively for the American freedman. I'll give you an example of what an American freeman is. Frederick Douglass, an American freeman. Harriet Tubman, American freeman. Viola Davis is an American freedman. Denzel Washington is an American freedman.
This
Michael
dude right here,
Jackson, obviously.
this man right here.
That's right, Malcolm X.
We got
Malcolm
we
X.
got we might have two. We might have a couple more Freeman. I don't know if you can
Oh
like
yeah,
confirm
Muhammad
that. You know what I'm saying?
Ali. Fire shirt. That shirt is fire. Love that shirt. Muhammad Ali, Dr. King, Malcolm X. Uh, yeah, many, many, many American freemen. Ida B. Wells, Fannie Lou Hamer, Ella Baker, Harriet Tubman,
Yes, sir.
Callie House, Isaiah Dickinson. The list goes on and on. So
Yes, it does.
everyone knows who we are. We have, I'll say, we're probably the greatest representation of quote unquote black people on the planet. We are the original freedom fighters of the United States, and we're leading the charge. We created hip hop, we created the broom, we created lights, traffic lights, all of those things. So when you think about the American freeman and our contributions to the United States and our contribution to the world, it cannot be denied.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's that. Okay, so for some of us that may not know already, Freeman is the term, the identifier that folks that Black Americans identified as post emancipation, right? Um, we had with this term, people created the Freedmen Banks, the Freedmen's Bureau, um, like Freedmen Schools and stuff like that. That's like the name that they kind of labeled all of these things that was created by Black Americans to benefit Black Americans. Unfortunately, some of these things, some of these institutions was burnt to the ground because of the Ku Klux Klan. Um, so other programs were cut funding thanks to the president. That well, we'll hear about that like a little in just a tad bit, but the Freeman terminology, the Freeman identity is well embedded into American culture, right? So I kind of want I just want to quickly ask you guys: have you guys ever heard of this Freeman terminology ever?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I've heard of it. This is my first time understanding it.
Oh, really?
Me and you had conversations about it.
Yeah, I mean, before we had conversations about
No,
it,
I never heard about it. No.
yeah, and isn't that so peculiar that like again, like a lot of people didn't know that there was anything that was set aside for Black Americans, and didn't even know that the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment was specifically a response to the injustice set before Black Americans, right? Um, and that this term freedman was something that people just identified as during that time period. Even no matter how you kind of feel about where we were from and what we should be, if we should be identified. I'm sorry, how we should identify ourselves, whether it be from where we are born or where our roots are from. You know what I'm saying? It's this is something that they identified as during that time period, and there's a bunch of brothers, you know what I'm saying, and sisters that believe that we should bring that back. Arguably because its very name is embedded into the Constitution itself.
Like you said, it has a status.
It has a status. It has a constitutional status.
That make more sense than calling yourself ADOS. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let's continue over there. That very much so is what it means to be a freeman. So there are titles that Black Americans identify as. We don't have to name them here. But what do you think makes the term freeman important?
It's important because we're talking about reparations, we're talking about politics, which equals policy, application of the policy, enforcement of the policy. And if we're going to get reparations by way of Congress and any of the other branches of government, in particular Congress, you have to have the right legislative language. So the letter of the law, as well as the spirit of the law, have to work together so that the eligible community, which is the American freedmen, by way of the freedman status, should be benefiting from these laws. So that's why, if you're a lobbyist like myself, if you are an educator, as far as the freedman conscious family, and educating the American freedmen, and I'll even say allies, the John Browns of the world, Thaddeus Stevens, the Charles Sumners of the world, you have to use that freedman status and put that in the legislation. Speaking of legislation, we actually have a bill out here in New York, which is a state act of atonement bill. I'll have to send that to you. I'm gonna send that to you on the DM, and maybe you could put that into the chat or whatever you want. So that can give people an idea of the justice or an example of why that freedman status is important. And it's supported by Assemblywoman, who's an American freedman, Assemblywoman Nikki Lucas, the U.S. Freedmen Project, who I also work alongside.
U.S. Freedmen
Their
Project.
organization, U.S. Freedmen Project, as well as the United Sons and Daughters of Freedmen. Those are two organizations I build with and work alongside in the advocacy for the American freedmen. But they presented that bill to Assemblywoman Nikki Lucas, and we've been working together ever since. So we're trying to get that into law out here in New York.
Very interesting, man. So yeah, this you said a big word there, man. Organization, and that's very enticing. It means there's some structure there. It means that there is a group push, a community of people that's nothing any less than forward moving as far as the push towards reparations, and that's a good feeling, man. I'm glad you are a part of that work, and not just in spirit but also in action. And I hope more people. I hope the people that watch this are inspired to follow your footsteps, because you are the exact type of soldier Black American needs. I'm sorry, American freedmen needs. Okay, so any attitudes, any feelings towards the identity of freedmen?
Not at all, man. I believe that makes more sense than the other terminologies we talked about today, because it comes with the status. So if you attach your retribution to a status that's actually in the Constitution, it will hold more weight up in court.
I don't know why this sounds like to me. I like the name better than the other name, but I don't know. I'm what's coming to mind is NAACP, the National
Advocacy for
Advancement of Colored People. Yeah. So yeah, and what that was what it was, and what it did is I don't know. I don't know what type of real progress the NAACP made for people who were really struggling in very poor communities and poor areas, forgotten areas. It may have helped those who were. Maybe that's why. Because
they started strong, and now this is something that's not helpful for us at all. Not especially Black Americans.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that's just the name he's talking about because everything else aligns with what we've been talking about with reparations and identity of who should receive reparations.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. For the most part, I'm definitely I like the idea of it. I mean, I like the history behind the name. I think
Quick
it
question,
sounds a
though.
little bit better.
Is that the reason why the dude that made Boondocks gave him the last name Freeman?
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing.
That's probably what he was going for.
So.
Catcher Freeman and all that. It could be. Aaron Magruder was probably on one when he came up with
Yeah,
the
that was
names.
probably his message in that the whole time. Nobody ever caught on.
So research this, not sure, and this is where I heard it from. Again, the Pullman Porters, right? I think, if I'm not mistaken, their union was the Freedmen Union, or maybe they called themselves Freedmen.
They probably did.
I'm not sure.
They probably
I could
did.
believe that.
Yeah. So I had a question on the tip of my tongue. I can't really remember it. I mean, I don't know. So I mean, I think we all pretty much. I think we all pretty much stand in pretty strong agreement with this. With like the measure shit. Now again, like whatever I don't know. Like I said, there's other contending identifiers that people like to go about. Some people feel like the other acronym identifiers are a little bit more trendy than others. Some people are just flat out following these hashtags or these identifiers because they like the person that's behind the identifier, or the hashtag or the movement or what have you. But I mean, as you just seen it, there's a dude that identifies by this, and other people that are also go about this identifier are in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? They're actually and they're I mean, if anybody don't know what a lobbyist is, somebody that goes in and speaks directly to politicians and makes convincing arguments as far as why these politicians should be carrying, or why they should change the trajectory of their messaging, or what they should be advocating for. Thanks to this, thanks to say lobbyists. And these freedmen, and he's not the only one. There's also another guy, Greg Marcel Dixon, who's actually running for Congress and out of I believe North Carolina. This is definitely not a new movement, and I think these guys are intelligent to, as you just said, use something that people that are intelligent, that are well studied into the Constitution. We'll be able to see this name, this Freeman name, and automatically know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I can kind of see why other identifiers, we'll just go out and say it, FBA and ADOS, and whatever else you can come up with. I can see why those names were created, because maybe it's more simpler for like simpletons to like digest. But like this is the Freeman thing still is, like I said, for the people that know, for the people that aren't important, they know, you know what I'm saying, what comes with that title, what the history behind this Freedman terminology or this Freedman language. So I don't know, whatever anybody, I'm not gonna ask anybody what do y'all think is the best one, anything like that. I was gonna say consider them all, and when it's all said and done, and when we receive our reparations, do what you will with these titles. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, in my opinion, is like I said, these are just tools. You know what I'm saying, that we can use to get what's owed to us, and if you want to dispose of the terminology, then hey, that's your prerogative. And I'm gonna just kind of leave it at that for the most part. But any last sentiments towards this Freeman conversation?
Not at all, man. They got the best. I say they got the best stake in the war. Everybody else is just kind of talking. Like you said, they're in the trenches, and there's actually whole weight in actual law. I take actual weight in law than a bunch of, I just made some shit up to make you feel good.
Yeah, a bunch of feel good mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, ADOS does have like an internet site, and they do have things they put together to vouch for, to speak to on when it comes to like these reparations claims and stuff like that. They created something that you can read and like kind of digest and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. They also meet up and they also have chapters. They are an organization. So that's just to kind of.
I mean,
help.
that's the made up shit though. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the reason. I mean, that's all that you said is cool, but they don't have no law. See, and that one, this comes from the Constitution. That's old law. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That holds up when you argue with somebody in the court of law. Law is more important than a bunch of shit you made up at your crib in your basement with your mans. When you have something concrete in writing, in documentation, I can argue this. If I'm a freeman, nigga, this is what it's supposed to come to a freeman. You see what I'm saying? So that's way more like, that makes sense. All the other shit is, like you said, that's just some trendy topic shit. But this actually makes sense if you want to fight for something. If you want to go to a judge, a Supreme Court, and say, this is why we supposed to get this, that, and the third. They're going to look at that law. It's there, and they got to look at that. They have to respect that. You see what I'm saying? Versus what the fuck you feel like you want to call yourself and make up and have a council. Whatever you want to do, that doesn't hold no purpose in law. They don't have no laws. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing for them. You know what I'm saying? That's just your imagination.
True.
I agree with all of that, but I'm still kind of pondering what exactly is meant by freedmen. I do like the title better and all that, but is the freedmen, are they saying that we're freedmen? We're a special group of descendants from slaves who contribute more than probably any other group of black people in America, or are they saying, again, like ADOS, we are descendants of slaves, and because of this, we should have reparations.
And this is part of the reason why people, like I said, create these alternative titles just to be able to move past this specific question, which is, I don't even think this. I think it's completely okay to ask any question on the face of the earth, for the most part, as long as you have an honest answer. You know what I mean? But like just to answer, to answer your question, it's the clear, like I said, and it is I can't remember I'm gonna put the definition above my head, but for the most part, it's more or less what you kind of said as, let me just pull it up on the dictionary so I can read out loud and so I can just kind of have some.
I thought the difference between the two was that the freeman actually comes from constitutional rights.
Yeah,
right.
It does, but there's a
great.
definition to go along with it too. He's asking for like what is his meaning? So let me just pull it up.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, because he named a lot of specific people.
Yeah.
So I can name a lot of specific people who didn't contribute.
A freedman or a freed woman is a formerly enslaved person who has been released from slavery, usually by legal means. Historically, slaves were freed by managed mission, granted freedom by their owners. Emancipation, granted freedom as part of a larger group or self-purchase. Mm-hmm.
So I'm very aware of that definition of freedom.
Freedom, yeah.
I thought that they were just using that term, but this is actual, documented events that occurred in the past, and also some kind of provision made in the Constitution for those particular people. But what about those who, let's say, fought in the war, which were a countless number of people who were slaves and runaway slaves and people. Even in the American Revolution, there were, the British went around saying, hey, look, you know what, you fight for us, we'll give you your freedom. And they meant it. They did it after them, even though they lost.
Gave them Haiti, yeah.
But then there was also blacks who were fighting with Americans against the British. So, and they may have not ever have been freedmen, and they deserve reparations. So their descendants deserve reparations as far as that's what I feel. So if being a freedman exclude them, then I wouldn't agree with that.
Yeah, that would be a problem. I ain't looking at it like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's I mean, that's I would say that's something that's worth exploring. I probably know. Maybe I can ask Buddy if he has a response to that. But I don't know. I don't. In my opinion, though, like I don't think too much of any of these things that you kind of mentioned that would exclude people from any sort of restitution.
I mean, it would because that's what they see. That's what, a judge would do that. They would try to cut corners anyway, not to give somebody some money. So the classes and the stipulations that you put in certain categories, that shit matters in the contract. So if they said that they're supposed to go to Freeman, it got to be Freeman.
Oh no, okay, I see what you're saying, but like I guess the bridge. I mean, I guess to win that case, you have to explain. So you have to. I'm sorry, convince them, right, that the causality of you being the lineage. You know what I'm saying? There's a word I really want to find, but yeah, you have to make the case that there is a causality of you being the offspring, right? The lineage, right, of those emancipated people is like there's a direct correlation to like your economic standing, and you know what I'm kind of trying to say here, like that.
I get what you're saying, and I get that, but it's just you right. They would have to do that, but it's just when you writing contracts and it gets tricky with lawyers. That's what I'm saying. When you write certain things, you say you have to be very specific. Yeah. If you leave certain areas, it will be manipulated, and motherfuckers get fucked.
All kind of areas.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I think that's an argument, though. I mean, ultimately, because there were people, of course, and I'm not trying to say the whole table. I say, yeah, we got to come together and make some kind of solution, and in that solution, conversation, discourse has to happen so that we can make this thing look feasible to those who have to pay it out. But people from the raid where they blew up the whole city, Tulsa, and all that, right? They say these people were potentially millionaires in the next year or two, but because of the government doing what they did, they should have money paid back from that as well as reparations as being. But yeah.
Yeah, because it's probably black people been through many different types of trauma in this country.
Exactly, they need to set that aside.
It's a lot of trauma,
and go for this overall reparations first. Yeah,
it's a lot of trauma. So.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, this conversation isn't going to end with just the Chicago Black delegation. Like I said, there's a large population of freedmen out there that's actually, again, like I said, in the trenches having these conversations with the people that actually truly do matter, right? So I like I said, I'm very much so close to each other with this brother here. He's gonna let me know what's going on from the he's gonna let me know what's going on as it happens. You know what I'm saying? So and for the most part, and you guys are gonna be the first people I tell it to. You know what I'm saying? Along with the rest of my audience, obviously. But yeah, so hopefully, we're gonna be closely watching this situation as we are freedmen, by blood, by lineage. And I don't know. Only thing we can do is like pray for the best, if not get active ourselves. He mentions, like I said, he mentions being a lobbyist. And for those of us that got the time to, maybe it's time for more people to step into this political realm and start, like, if not only arming ourselves politically as far as knowledge is concerned, maybe if we got the extra time, like actually get involved in these types of discourses and stuff like that, and going to where these political people, these important people meet. And discuss some of these things with me. Even though they say no, it's still, I would argue, still to be good to know who our friends are and who our enemies are as well, right?
Yes, sir.
It's been Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. We'll catch y'all on the flip side. Okay, so this is gonna be the last little thing. We can try to breeze this on. This is gonna be what King provided. So you can probably kind of. Well, that ain't it. How do I get the fuck out of this? Okay. Well, that ain't I whole time I really didn't read all of this. I can't go out there. Got bikinis and shit. I ain't gonna lie to you, Kim. I'm probably gonna have you. Did you read this?
Yeah, it's about the black people. Well, not just the black people. People in Chicago fighting back against Brad Johnson. The misuse of taxpayers' dollars and why he keep trying to getting more money.
He asked for $70 million here. That's what this was. Okay, I got it.
Did he get the first 70?
Yeah, he got all the money he ever asked for.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
And he took the COVID fund money too. He used that too. He used that.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna talk about all that. We're gonna bring all that up. Okay. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. I'm your host, High Thinking, and here we are with yet another Brandon Johnson coverage. I'll tell you, man, mayors of Chicago, bro, the Chicagoland area is like they're just like the content givers that keep giving. Like it's always something with these folks. If it ain't Tiffany Hayard, it's Brandon Johnson. And as soon as these other mayors of like I don't know Robbins,
Dalton.
Dalton. Dalton been they all over the news, right? Tiffany Hayard's all over the news.
Robbins,
but Harvey, like you name, Riverdale, like you name it, like. As soon as these people start kind of open up and, start recording their town hall meetings, we can start kind of getting in their ass as well. But like I said, some of these mayors are just really, they try to be as shut-lipped as possible as far as the exposure they're giving to the American people, which is I don't know, I don't like it, but I mean, I don't know. I guess that's the town people's prerogative to allow them to do such things. But ultimately, we're here again with Mayor Brandon Johnson and the townspeople being angry about his handling of the money that he's being. He was given money for the COVID relief from Joe Biden. Spent all that on migrants and stuff like that, and then now he's just found all this money. You know what I'm saying? This additional money. And when I say money, I guess I recently be using money because that's not like detailed. I'm talking like millions of dollars here, right?
Yeah. On top of like the 300, like Governor Pritzker, he made a bill to give him like $300 million. You know, he thought to throw another 70 on that. You know what I'm saying? They're already getting the 300 in just like healthcare. They got to get all this free healthcare, so we got to pay for that. So that's like $300 million in healthcare for them. Yeah, so we got exactly. So we got an article here from Fox News, kind of going into detail about what's kind of been going on here, and we have a resident here that has something to say. So let's peep game. Let's see what she has to say, and then we're gonna briefly take a look at this article.
An escape.
So happening today, Chicago City Council is expected to vote on a $70 million request to help handle the Sanctuary City illegal migrant crisis. The vote was pushed back after residents called out Mayor Brandon Johnson on Wednesday. Watch.
Asking y'all to use our tax money for our people. We need it.
They're showing up here in New York, in Chicago, attacking people in the streets. The police are fighting with them in the shelters that you guys are funding.
P. Ray Easley was at the City Council meeting, and she joins us now. Ma'am, thanks so much for joining the program. So when I look at Chicago, y'all have been struggling for a while, and y'all need resources there. How do you feel about the mayor dedicating those resources to the illegals in your city now?
It's the most disrespectful thing we've ever encountered in our lives. We've been paying property taxes in this city for generations, and to see them so openly give our money to people who don't deserve it is very insulting.
You know, Pierre, when I went to Chicago a few months ago, there were schools that were boarded up, and they said they didn't have any money to fund those schools. But
Correct.
Conveniently, they found a way to open them up for the migrants to take refuge.
Correct. And those are not migrants. Those are illegal immigrants.
You're
Our
right.
grandparents are migrants who left the South to come to Chicago, and we can't mix ourselves up with them. But to that point, it's extremely insulting. They've been telling us my entire life that they don't have money for this, they don't have money for that. We have to compromise. We must go without. But now we're seeing that they're able to print money out of the clear blue sky, and we want to know why wasn't our tax money given to us?
You know, this is also, Pierre, a mayor that has prided himself on being a man of the people, helping the community. I haven't seen city council meetings this packed in a while. Is he listening to the people?
I don't think that he necessarily is. They, meaning him and his progressive allies, came in with a very strict agenda that they're following to the T. But to that point, I want to thank our mayor for uniting the city in a way that we haven't seen since the 96 Bulls, and that's against him and this progressive agenda.
Oh, I love that. Tell me this. I only got about 15 seconds left. Do you think that the voters there are going to respond at the ballot box?
Absolutely. We are looking forward to bringing back Donald John Trump Sr. as our 47th president. He's the only president who has a plan to close the southern border, which is going to cut off the pipeline of human and drug trafficking that's flooding the west side of Chicago. And we cannot wait to get you back in office, Mr. President. Please come see us in Chicago.
P. Ray Easley, a message to Donald Trump as well to come see the people. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, that's about all they got to say, bro. Okay, Trump, question mark? What y'all got?
I mean, they going. I mean, a lot of black people they swing to Trump's side, and I made a bet with my friend that the Chicago will flip red.
Isn't that amazing?
Because people are upset up here. So
you are definitely upset up here. What do y'all think about the Trump question mark, man?
I think that was seriously planned and scripted and everything else. They use too many buzzwords. Let you know both of them. But I'm sitting here and I do remember that the word illegal alien changed to immigrant, pretty quickly. And but nevertheless, I don't know what's going on with this mayor. I had high hopes for him. This is a really tough situation, but I don't know what to say.
Jay Rashid, Trump question mark?
Man, all I can say, this is what happens when you got these people who claim to be for the people messing up our money. You know what I'm saying? You had them in office for so long, and now you got people running over the Trump side, talking about, man, we can't wait to have you back as our 47. If Trump gets back in office, I promise you, it's going to be the end of democracy. But, I mean, this is what happens when you got somebody who's openly in your face, like, I don't like you, but we'd rather have someone who's honest like that in presidency than someone who's probably behind our backs talking about some, we're going to be in our face talking about some, we're cool with y'all black people, but fuck them niggas. Like, it's crazy how politics has gotten people. But, I mean, man, bro, like, Chicago, New York, honestly, America's in a bad state because we've been making these promises and it's going to look good to the general public as opposed to what's going on in your city.
To the point where it has made Trump he looks like a answer or a solution.
Yeah, right. Like
to
you
a
got
lot of people.
But that's the problem, though. People really don't understand politics, though, when they think he's the answer solution because he technically can't solve your state's problem. Right? Mm-hmm. He technically can't. He can't technically do shit here. Technically, he can't. It's your government official. It's your mayor, your governor, your senator, your aldermen. Those are the people that's been fucking you. It technically isn't really Joe Biden. It's really not. It's really Mayor Brandon Johnson, good old Governor Pritzker. You know what I'm saying? It's not, and the aldermen. You know what I'm saying? They're fucking you. So it's not like, so when they vote Trump, and they go like, why Trump have to stay in Chicago? Because he physically can't really do nothing. Unless he do like an executive order where he just deport people, but he has to get like approved by Congress and so it's a lot of like laws you gotta get passed to even do that shit to a motherfucker, right? Mm-hmm. So they may not even allow him to do that because they're trying to say the migrants is growth for us, right? Because technically millions of people been leaving Chicago, right? So now that we have these extra group of people that's cleaning up some of the vacancy, but the problem is they're poor and broke, so we're paying for them, but down the line, right, when they get jobs, they're going to be productive in society, and that's going to help our economy. But we got to get past taking care of them first to get them to do that part. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're trying to get us to do, because that's what they see in the future when they do their analytics. Well, technically, y'all was already fucked anyway because y'all was losing millions of citizens regardless. So technically, we seen y'all a couple million. Y'all technically need them.
Technically, yeah. Arguably, yeah. At the same time, though,
and that's what they going off of. That's the analytics. That's what they see.
Stimulating the economy is definitely something I've definitely heard. I've definitely heard in the past. But it's like you have to make the. I guess somebody that is like against that ideology is gonna have to convince anybody, the person that's making the claim that you're making, that that our homeless population is willing to pick up the slack that they sent these migrants here to do. Even though, like, keeping in mind that a lot of the homeless population is kind of up there in age and may not be as able-bodied as like the migrants that's being sent over.
You getting young men.
Say it again.
I'm saying you getting all it's and not kids. A lot of families. They're young men. These are all young men. So these people are going to work.
So you also have to. So like you have to. Like we can. I don't like. I'm stuttering so much right now because I don't like the idea of like this generalizing conversation we kind of doing right here. But like, you have to be aware that there's a significant portion of these people that are, not, how do I put this? They're criminals. You know what I'm saying? Some of them really are criminals. Hopefully,
homeless people,
huh?
So it's homeless people.
So are the homeless people. So that may perhaps that offsets that claim then. Yeah. But like, it's just that I think Black America's. This is what Black America not really saying right now. This is what they need to say instead of we need to vote for Trump. They need to be saying that instead of these people occupying spaces that were meant for us as Black Americans, how about we put these people in? How about we place these people in more suburbs away from like places already struggling economically? You know what I'm saying? Let the people the people in like rich neighborhoods essentially do more into taking care of these migrants. Even though yes, they think, even though they're gonna make the claims that these people. Is that me? My bad. Mm-hmm. Even though these people are going to make the claim that, okay, these people are stinking up our environment and they're on the streets, they're on the corners and stuff. Okay, sure, but like, bro, we as Black Americans are already in damn near already in the slums. We already occupying these slums out, and that we already are struggling with the opportunities that are presented for us. And like, I'm just. It's like I said, most crime in general is only actuated because of lack of opportunities. If we put these people in our community, I mean, y'all know where I'm going with this. If we place these people in our communities, and then have all of us essentially fight for whatever opportunities is available, then I mean, like I said, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a lot of fighting, but. Let these people, like I just said, just put these people in places that have the space for them. We don't have that space in Black Chicago. That's not a xenophobic type of thing. I'm not trying to send these people anywhere for that matter. I'm speaking for Black America at this point. Black Americans only just want what's entitled to us. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just about reparations. This is about the place that we spent the taxes. We did the work. We did everything necessary for our kids to be able to benefit from by way of opportunities, by way of jobs, and by way of being fighting for some sort of I don't know, arguably meager attempt of self-sustainability. All right. So that's I would argue that that's something we should probably start moving towards instead of looking at Donald Trump to solve this issue.
I mean, you kind of ask your own question though, with the rich people trying to take up the slack. One, the surrounding suburbs do not have to do it if you're not part of Cook County. That is a Cook County law. That's why you don't see them in Naperville.
But yeah, they going to Indiana too. They placing these people in Indiana as well, right?
No, they just going to Indiana. They're not placing them fucking anywhere. They just going there.
Really?
Yeah, they just going there. Like they're not placing them anywhere. They just going there.
That's crazy.
Which kind of where I kind of want to chime in at is right there. And the reason why they're not going to Indiana is because it's a Republican state. So it's not Donald Trump that may not be the answer, but us becoming swing voters may be the answer, because if Chicago all of a sudden with Republican mayor, Republican government, the guy that just ran too, what was his name? I can't remember his name.
Dallas?
No, this brother, this black guy from Aurora somewhere.
He was giving everybody gas and all that stuff.
Man, no, not Willie Wilson.
That's Willie Wilson. I know you're talking about
this brother
from the Moore.
I
know you're talking about
Pritzker literally paid to prevent that guy from becoming governor. He may have won, man, because. And I say this because there's
that's big.
A whole bunch of issues, man, and not that we can talk about them now, for black men in America. Over the last 20 years or so, man, it's been a decrease of opportunity. It's been harder for us in a lot of different ways, even from the marijuana. We should be all over that. We should have black dispensaries everywhere.
We can't get them.
You know, a whole bunch of stuff for black men that has been where if it was an even player ground, if they didn't have a democratic situation going on, and I do mean a democratic situation, I can go for hours about that. The playing ground would have been a little bit more even, and I think we could have made much further advances than we have over the last 20 years in a Republican situation rather than Democratic.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. One more question about a couple more statements about this great Trump answer. Everybody seems to be convinced with.
I mean, people just don't understand politics. That's why they think Trump is the answer.
So like this lady, like the lady with the you saw the lady with the America head great again hat. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta stop doing that one.
Yeah, they folks all over the place with it. But Jay, you definitely made a statement earlier, and and what you just said. Like, do y'all think black people should be worried about the quote unquote end of democracy?
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think if we want to really have like a fair stake in this motherfucker, I think we should care. But I mean, like, the fall of democracy, it's not gonna happen for like, say, like the people running this country. No, that's not gonna stop. But I mean, like, our shaking it, we gotta be careful because they could.
Right.
But
yeah, there's still many laws that are set to protect us. That's
what I'm saying.
Democracy, man.
Now we may lose our fight in democracy because our voice will be null and void because we won't probably be providing too much to society anymore if we let motherfuckers outplay us. You know what I'm saying? So that can happen.
Okay.
Because the reason everybody listen to other ethnicity groups because they bring a certain level of money into the folk.
All right. Okay, so this is probably the nicest we've been talking. This is the nicest we've been at Democrats in an extremely long time on this platform. Just saying. But just to kind of bring the balance here, I don't want Democrats to forget that you're fucking up.
Oh yeah,
bad.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We're on your ass.
Like I said. We talking about $140 million, which was supposed to be allocated towards COVID relief, which we already, they've thrown it in our face multiple times that black people are disproportionately affected by the COVID virus because of the funding that wasn't. I'm sorry, if I can remember it correctly. It was specifically due to the availability of the vaccines in like black neighborhoods and stuff like that. Like there was just an outage. Like they had enough of it in like white areas or rich areas rather, and then it just seemed to run out in like poor areas. It's like some along those lines for the most part.
That's facts. I had to go to Dyer, Indiana to get mine.
To get your So and like
vaccine.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have got this shit anyway.
I had to for a job, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit. I had to get a job, all right?
Yeah, but supplies in general was like quite scarce and like in our neighborhoods and stuff like that for myriad of reasons, but a lot of it just specifically due to the poverty in our areas and stuff. But yes, we were disproportionately affected by it, and then for them to make this decision to spend that COVID relief on migrants, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of spit in the face of to us, especially understanding that these were the same people that's making these claims that we were the ones that's again disproportionately affected by the COVID situation. And then that aside, like 70, like you see it right here. You know what I'm saying? $70 million is what they're going to be allocating to these people. You know what I'm saying? That Brandon Johnson is trying to convince voters that this is a good idea. And it's like, again, like Democrats, like I want Black Americans want you guys to fucking get it. Like it's like for me, like for the similar reason, I want Republicans to start to fucking get it and like open their eyes and start listening and taking our conversation serious. And when I say serious, I mean stop coming up with shitty like rebuttals to like very serious claims that we're making, but like open up your eyes and understand that there's a real problem here, and then so we can start working towards creating like actual solutions. And until like both Democrats and Republicans start taking like actual intelligent people serious, both of them gonna just simply fail the Black community. You know what I'm saying? And the Black community is gonna be essentially rebelling against both. And it's gotten to the point where a lot of people making a claim that we need to create our own like political platform or a political party, and that's not even gonna get us.
They just wouldn't fuck with you.
That, you know what I'm saying? But like it's like I would say, but in my opinion, the only good that can come from creating our own political party is that we're pulling votes from the Democrat Party, which is gonna earn the Republicans the win. That's all that's gonna freaking happen. And then at best is gonna require the Democrats or individual Democrats, right, to start listening to those lobbyists that's trying to make the case for why Black Americans' votes matter, right? Does that make sense? Like
it does. Yeah. I just think it's a much quicker way to do that. Simply vote Republican, and they'll get the message really quick.
Yeah, you gotta show them. I mean, but the problem is Black people ain't showed the motherfucker yet.
Right.
So that's why for Chicago to really do what they want to do, they will have to flip red. I hate to say it, that's the only way it's gonna happen. You don't have to vote Donald Trump though. You just have to flip the state red. You know what I'm saying? You have to go Republican.
Yeah, I don't like that. I definitely don't like the idea of voting for Trump. I don't like the idea of voting for Republicans at all. I'll say the main problem I have with that is it tells Republicans this is all we got to do to earn y'all vote. It's absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like I prefer.
I mean, they both
voting for the couch.
I'm not just saying neither don't do shit for us to get our vote, but the problem is. Like the Republicans, it would just stop certain things from happening to you, right? Like people just really Black people lived under the crucial rule of Republicans for a very long time. We didn't deal with it, right? We survived because they make a certain level of economy where that's a little bit more survival to us. They would like taxes to a certain degree, and that's what people are tired of, getting taxes. And they want to have the ability to buy homes.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So if they can come in and get those two things right, the lower them taxes, let niggas buy a home, get the food and gas regulated, and it's always true when we have a Republican president, the gas is always cheaper. That's a real thing, right? So if they can somehow, cripple this food market and shit and get the housing shit back going, people will be okay. Black people will be, even though they still don't do it, but we will still be able to survive in this motherfucker, right? We would still have ability to kind of prosper like how we always did. But under the Democrats, bro, we really not really doing what we think we really doing. They only allowing a select few in certain areas in certain cities. But as a Black people as a whole to this motherfucker, nah, that shit ain't working out. it's just not really working out for us. And they keep promising us things, every president, and nobody's done nothing for you. Even the great Barack Obama ain't do shit for you. So it's like, so we gotta let this shit go. At some point, it's like they said, if you keep doing the same thing over and over, that's like some form of insanity. And we damn near crazy as fucking this bitch right now. That's all I'm saying.
Look, just to really jump on that real quick, and then say this. Yeah, we have been democratic by conditioning our parents and their parents and all that for years, so long to the point where Democrats has it's money in the bank with the blacks. You know, they're gonna vote for us no matter what we do to them. Yeah. They're gonna vote for us. You see what I'm saying? And what we need to show them is that no, I'm sorry, those days are over.
Fuck you.
You know, we're gonna vote for those who are beneficial to us and our community and our people. But just a perfect example of what you were saying. I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm done. I'm done. I forgot. But that's real talk. We need to go ahead and swing and let them know that we're not going to just business as usual.
Okay. So like I said, I made my case as far as why I prefer voting for the couch, or if not that, a Democratic maybe, because I know there's some other Democratic people, Democratic presidents that are actually still in the runnings, that's going against Joe Biden. I'm sorry, that's going to be fighting for the electoral place of Joe Biden, even though they're not getting any freaking shine, because, like I said, when the Democrats choose a person, they choose that person. But like, it's like I really don't want to say, God damn, this is gonna suck to say. Voting Republicans does seem like it's gonna be the biggest slap in their face. Like, hey, tell them to snap out of it. You know what I'm saying? And some people say, and it'll also appease the people that say, okay, you have to actually vote for people to actually hear what you're saying, to actually care about what you're saying. And that's like I said, that's a flat out lie, because that's why we have lobbyists to speak on the behalf of us. That aside, I made my case for why I say we should vote for the couch. If y'all want to say, hey, Republican flipping the state red, it's the way to go. It is what it is. I'm not gonna make a big debate about this. But what I will say is something's gonna happen. I'm sorry, something needs to happen, and it's likely gonna be flip the red. Granted that Democrats keep making decisions like this. The progressive mayor, speaking on Brandon Johnson, who has vigorously defended the city's sanctuary policies in the past, wants aldermen to green light the extra cash despite the Windy City having already poured $300 million into housing, food, and health care for migrants, according to the city's latest numbers. That shit has to stop.
And they're talking about more, another 300 and something.
They want another 70 million.
They want another
70. But what about the money to the governor?
Yeah, the governor. Yeah, that's another 300. So that'd be 670 million, because the governor is opposing the bill of 300 million for healthcare. So this is just for us to pay for the healthcare bill when every time they go to the hospital get sick, shit like that. That's just for us to pay for the healthcare part.
Wow.
So this is the thing. I came out. This is why I just remember. Like, I hear what you're saying about these people like stimulating the economy, and that can happen. But that transition period.
I told you that. I said that we have to front the bill first.
Oh yeah, okay. So and then from that bill part, I guess that's what I was going to speak on. Yeah, that transition period is going to be fucking rough.
Yeah, but that's the point though. The guys that sit at the table, they see the rough patch, but they also see what comes out the end of the tunnel. We'll be okay, because they was, in their eyes, we were all going to hit this rough patch regardless. If more people kept leaving, this shit was going to happen regardless. Certain things were going to happen to you anyway. So they like, let us do this to you now, so we can avoid certain future problems.
So do you think? I mean, it sounds like you vouching for these people.
No, I ain't vouching for them. Fuck no. I just understand the plan. I see where they're going with it, but I don't like being fucked on the road. I'm the guy that's getting fucked. So I'm sorry, no.
Can I bring up a little point? It's kind of off just a little bit. It's we're talking about a group of people whom I see every specific day or whatever, and these people who are immigrants, so they call them, they're showing me people with their heads being cut off and people being chopped up and put in boxes. And this is my family. Cartel. They saying that the cartel was after they had to leave. And so my heart goes out to them for that. I mean, if my life was threatened, I would run anywhere I could go to save my life. And with that being said, I am empathetic, but at the same time, we cannot just disregard our people, man. We've been struggling here in this city for so long, and take the resources that we have. This is the thing I wanted to say about Democrats. Over a period of time, last 5-6 years, maybe 8, the population of wealthy black people has grown. Mm-hmm. But also, interest rates for homes have grown 7% to over 7% now. Food, energy, everything has gone up to suck everything. Every growth period that we made through a Democratic government, man.
Illinois is number 2 in property taxes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. New Jersey number 1 of all places.
What we looking at, y'all? We decent? We still got more time.
I mean, let me close the show out, bro. I gotta edit that out now, man. Okay, so you was talking about Democrats, and can you go over that last point again?
Well, it's amazing. I was looking at it, and I was looking at the number in the demographics in the city of Chicago alone, but across the country, same thing is happening. Black people have grown. A lot of black people, new businesses, all kind of entrepreneurial ventures and all kinds of things. And they've grown. They've earned a bigger dollar. However, the cost of living has grown right along with it. Yeah. And it looks like a plan. I promise you, you're moving too fast, sir. We need you to stay down. Because for the first time, you're able to buy property, have income property, a house and a boat or something. But everything, even just from food to insurance, car insurance, everything has just tripled, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interest rates.
And like I said, that definitely, all of that definitely requires a significant deep dive that we won't be able to explore today. But for the most part, as far as the commoners is concerned, they're gonna blame the leadership for these types of things, whether they like it or not. And the leadership is gonna face the consequence of that. So. Hopefully we figure it out soon. If you stick with us here on the Chicago Black Delegation podcast, we will find answers for you eventually, or you can be part of the conversation and help us find a solution. So, but in the meantime, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Chicago Black Delegation podcast signing out. All right, guys, we good, man. I didn't know it was 7:19. My bad. How long that one? That was, man. That was. We probably gonna just start sticking like three videos because I don't know.
So does the show on YouTube run that long? For about 4 hours?
They do live streams, yeah.
Okay. Say, because that could be like 4 shows.
Some people actually fall asleep on their shows, and people actually watch.
Yeah, people watching it while they fucking sleep talking shit. Niggas slobbing on themselves. Dumb motherfucker, wake up, nigga.
Let me see. I gotta get that. All right, appreciate you stopping by. Thanks, fellas. Thank you, fellas. What do you say with it? Take my number down in there, man. Huh? Take my number down. Yeah, for sure. Let me just play this music real quick.
Reese gonna let me know whenever you need me. I'm here, dog.
My job easy. Well, we gonna need you to do some talking too.